In this section, we'll discuss the 2019-2020 ESA Consolidated Compliance Report. The projected availability for the ESA Consolidated Compliance Report is mid-July 2020. The projected due date for the report is September 30th, 2020. In order to ease the reporting burden on school districts this year, the agency has made every effort to streamline our data collection process. That means that for 2019-2020, the agency is only asking for data that's needed to complete federal reports. Other data sources include NGS for migrant and PEIMS for Title I Part A, Title III Part A, and homeless. Some compliance reports that are usually included in the ESA Consolidated Compliance Reports will not be collected this year. In addition, most of the program implementation questions that are usually asked in these reports will be grayed out for this year. Streamlined data collection also means that program requirements have not gone away. Just because we're not asking doesn't mean the requirement doesn't still exist. LEAs should maintain documentation locally. The 2020-2021 validations may choose from among the program implementation questions to follow up. We mentioned earlier that there will be some reports that are not included for the 2019-2020 data collection. The PR 3099 for private nonprofit school equitable services and the PR 1200 Title I Part C migrant education will not be collected for 2019-2020. Our expectation is that these reports will become active again for the 2020-2021 compliance report. To access the 2019-2020 ESA Consolidated Compliance Report in eGrants, go to the Compliance Report tab and select 2019-2020 ESA Consolidated Compliance Report. The first item that will appear on the table of contents for the compliance report is the GS2110 for Contact Information. This is the first section that the LEA is required to complete. The GS2110 collects contact information for the compliance reports. Part 1 is pre-populated. Part 2 is for the primary and secondary contact for the LEA. The LEA selects the contact from the drop-down list and the information will populate. If the LEA wants to add a contact that's not on the list, they'll simply click on the Add New Contact button to be taken to the schedule that allows for contact information to be entered. This is true for the secondary contact section also. The additional contacts are optional. If the LEA has a program contact that they wish to add, they can simply fill it in here. These additional optional contacts are not listed on the drop-down list. Once the LEA has saved the GS2110, the other compliance reports will appear on the table of contents. When the LEA has successfully saved each of these compliance reports, a green check will appear to the left. Once all of the compliance reports have been successfully saved, the LEA will be allowed to submit. Let's talk a bit about the submission of the reports. It's really important to remember that saving does not equal submission. The table of contents provides access to the individual reports, and it also shows the status of the reports, whether they're not started, whether they're in draft, whether they're completed. The Submit button for the Consolidated Compliance Reports is on the table of contents. After the submission, the Submit button becomes a button to start an amendment if the LEA needs to amend their compliance report. So here is the table of contents, and you see on the left-hand side of the report where the green check marks are. As reports are successfully saved, the green check mark shows that it has passed all of the internal edits. The numbers that are supposed to add up. The LEA hasn't left any blanks. Those are all good to go. So when those compliance reports all show a check, the LEA will be allowed to submit.